improvisation can be wild, sometimes unhinged. For those untrained ears, you might be wondering what's happening when jazz musicians improvise. What do we make of this madness?
I mean, compared to Western classical music, in jazz, we bend the rules all the time. And of course, we do follow what the composer has written down, but we create our own patterns in the music, expressing emotions that we can't with words during the improvisation.
But like, how? Fly.
Well, first you gotta know the melody, like you gotta really know it. You gotta have it memorized, you gotta have it internalized, so that you can sing it anytime just like that. And this fluency gives you the freedom to express yourself and to let your personality shine through the music. And this confidence of being in control acts as a springboard for your improvisations.
Joel. Hello, Joel. I've heard you've done something to my song called Rumah. Do you mind showing me what the melody is and how you play around with it?
So I'll start by playing your original and then showing you the changed version.
Okay, maestro.
Oh, Rumah, da 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 da.
I hear it.
One of the main things we did with your song was apply different chords underneath the melody and gave it that jazz sound. We start right at the beginning. Now, in your song, O Rumah, it starts in C major. This is the home chord, which is the musical foundation of the song. Starts in C major, goes away, and comes back. What these chords are a chord progression. Now, we don't have to arrive at home right away. What we're doing is taking you further away from home. We're drawing out the tension and making you wait and wait right before we take you home. We're taking the scenic route.
I like that. But how do you make my song sound so jazzy though?
In jazz, we have this thing called complex chords. Normally, your chords have only 3 notes. They sound like this. However, we're looking for more colors, greater expression, and so we add more notes.
It really does seem that you're adding more layers to the cake with some extra icing and cream on top.
Exactly. So what we're doing is adding more colors and drawing out the suspense in the song.
Let's do it together
Okay.
from the top. Oh, Rumah, akan saya datang kepadamu.
And we are back home. Now, the melody is built off notes in these chords. So you don't have to worry too much about knowing it theoretically. What you really need to be able to do is hear and understand that some chords go better together than others.
I guess it doesn't matter how long you take. At the end of the day, you might go around and round and round, but you end off back at home to sleep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what's next?
Stay in the pocket.
What does that mean?
So in the world of jazz, playing the pocket means that you are playing together with a steady pulse, with a constant thing where everyone is feeling the groove together.
So I guess everyone is responsible for keeping up with their own rhythm?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Because generally we always think that the drums is the one dictating the tempo all the time. But it's not entirely the case. Like everyone in the band, the piano, drums, violin, bass, we are all contributing to this groove together by staying in the pocket together.
That's very interesting because sometimes when I listen to jazz, it's not like a steady 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it?
Well, it actually is in the minds of the musicians, but for the listener, it sounds a lot more exciting. Everyone has different ways of telling their story within that same pulse. You will realize the skip note, or that extra note between the beats, it's a little bit closer to the next note, right? So it feels a little bit more jumpy, it adds a little bit more tension to the rhythm.
The spaces between the beats is where the musicians get to express themselves uniquely. We are able to do anything we want as long as we land together at the end of the beat.
I guess the whole point is that with improvisation, feel free, have fun, express yourself. But at the end of the day, you gotta come back to the beat, you gotta stick with the band, stay in the pocket, and no one gets left behind. So you've nailed the melody, you've memorized the chord progressions, and now you can get right into the song. So tell me, what is actually going on in your heads when you're improvising?
So for me, what goes through my head is what the band is saying, what the band has said, and how I can contribute to that.
In my head, we are talking to each other, using our instruments, and whenever I play, I want to tell a good story.
For me, sometimes I hear something and I think it sounds wrong, but I like it.
For me, I'm thinking about what can I add to this musical style.
Sometimes I'm just trying to remember if I locked the door when I left the house.
That's why jazz is all about self-expression. Stay true to yourselves, beautiful people. So, it clearly takes a lot of practice to make melodic and rhythmic improvisation sound good and effortless. You gotta hit the word shed. Make sure to shed those chops.
The jazz legend Charlie Parker famously went into isolation in the remote woods to practice his saxophone 15 hours a day for 4 years when he was just 16 years old. After this intense period of dedicated practice, he revolutionized the jazz scene by creating a new style called bebop. Today, the term shedding is still used by jazz musicians to refer to the art of practicing.
But practicing isn't just about learning an instrument. It's also about listening, because the more jazz you listen to, the more of the jazz language you'll be able to understand. Learn the melody and the chords that go along with it. Have fun with the notes, and remember to stay in time with each other. Practice and just keep listening until you get this.
Akan saya datang kepadamu dalam mimpi indahku, saya fikirkanmu. Oh rumah, haruskah aku lari padamu di pandang yang luas itu berlangsung selamanya.
So, there is a method to the madness in jazz improvisation. Of course, you can learn a whole bunch of technical skills and rules determined by the melody and chords, but to me, it's about exploring all of the roads, having fun with each path you take, and then finally coming back to home sweet home. Because
That's improvisation.
what?
And this is jazz.